Okay, now I want to take a look at the quotient rule. So this is if we are dividing two functions. So the quotient rule is this. So you do have to have the product rule and the quotient rule memorized. So this is the denominator times the derivative of the numerator, then minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator, all over the denominator squared. So kind of what we use to remember is we say it like this: low d high, so low, the bottom, times the derivative of the top, minus high d low, so that's the numerator, times the derivative of the denominator, all over low squared. So low d high minus high d low over low squared. Okay, so let's practice that. I would pause here. This kind of talks about how we got the quotient rule, so like the proof. So it's not too bad. I think that you could follow it. So if you pause, read through it, then you kind of have an understanding of where the formula comes from. All right, so let's practice this. All right, so this is the numerator, so f of x, and this is the denominator, so g of x. Okay, so it is low, so x squared minus 1, d high, so d dx of x squared plus 3x plus 4, minus high, so that's just x squared plus 3x plus 4, d low, so derivative of the denominator, okay, all over low squared. Okay, so we're going to keep the denominator like that for a while. All right, so I have x squared minus 1, and then I got to do the derivative of the numerator. So that is 2x plus 3, okay, minus x squared plus 3x plus 4, and now the derivative of the denominator, which would just be 2x. Okay, I am going to multiply out my numerator. Okay, so we're going to FOIL. Okay, and then I'm going to still keep this in parentheses when I distribute this 2x. So I need to remember that I got to distribute that negative. So that's why I keep it in the parentheses. Okay, and then I want to combine my like terms. So it just happened that these cancel. That's not necessarily always going to happen or anything. 3x squared minus 6x squared would be negative 3x squared. And then negative 2x minus 8x would be negative 10x. And then just minus 3. Okay? All over x squared minus 1 squared. Okay, so we would like to see if it factors, which it actually does factor, but it's not going to help us cancel anything in the denominator. So there would be no really point in factoring. But if you checked, like, okay, take out the negative. So it actually does factor. I need to put 3 here, so I get 9x plus 1x, which is 10x. But neither one of those are going to cancel with the x squared minus 1. So we're good to stop and leave it here. Okay. All right, let's look at B. So e to the negative x is 1 over e to the x. All right, so this is pretty easy because the top is just 1. But we'll still do our quotient rule. So we'll still call this f of x, and we'll call this g of x. All right, so low, so e to the x, d high, minus high, d low, all over low squared. Okay. The derivative of 1 is 0. The derivative of e to the x is e to the x. E to the x squared would be e to the 2x. So negative e to the x over e to the 2x. X minus 2x would be negative x. So this is just negative 1 over e to the x. Okay, so it's not quite the exact same thing. If you notice, e to the negative x, the derivative is negative e to the negative x. So something happened and made that a negative out front, but otherwise it stayed the same. Okay, so this is just the basis of quotient rule. So we will go into more depth and do some more examples on Monday, so next time we have class.